The DNA of a Buhler Graduate was developed by first asking our teachers, what is it you want to see out of a Buhler High School graduate? What's important to you? And they came up with a lot of soft skills that were really important to them. And so we took that great big long list and we took it to some of our stakeholders, our parents, our community members, and we said, okay, out of this list, is there anything you'd like to add? Is there anything that you want to see that's different than this list? And narrow it down to your top 10. We took it back to our administration, we took it back to our teachers and said, okay, out of their recommendations, what are the final top 10 soft skills that you want to see when a Buhler student graduates?
I use the word essential and foundation for all of these. And I think through time, they've all been proven to be the critical elements of any kind of learning. It seems kind of interesting because learning is more than just the academic part. It's how you approach it, both as the teacher and as a student. And with these items right here that I see, these are the ones that will make a good flow between the two parties.
Well, I think that we're creating students who are going to enter a workforce that doesn't exist yet. The changes, the challenges that they're going to face, the technology they're going to use, we haven't seen that and we don't know what it's going to look like. So they have to have these skills to be successful. We use these skills every day: critical thinking, collaboration, communication in yearbook and photography. As we're building our yearbook, as we're writing articles for local news outlets and even taking pictures for our own website, they use these skills.
It's nothing that I plan for. It is something that just occurs organically as situations occur between one another. We will stop and take the time to just process through what occurred and what we can do better and how we can be better humans. There are skills that come up every day in our classroom. So it's not something I ever have to purposely plan for, although, you know, sometimes I can direct it that way, but it's something that just occurs every day between us.
I mean, all 10 of them are incredibly vital to our kids as they move forward. I would say the critical thinking, the ability to critically think and approach information from a critical angle, and even their own perspectives as well as the perspectives that they bring into it from outside. And then empathy, you know, the idea of being able to understand where someone else is coming from, to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand that other perspective. I think that and critical thinking tie in together. Perseverance, I think, is also huge with our kids. You know, they've been through a lot and they've learned to persevere, and I think that's coming through with a lot of what we do now. And then obviously as an English teacher, I think communication is going to be an eternal skill that will always be valuable for our kids.
When I look at these and I think about all the affirmations that kids receive in classrooms, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing kids being affirmed for their interpersonal skills. I'm hearing kids being affirmed for integrity, doing the right thing when no one else is looking. I hear kids being affirmed for being teachable and coachable from their teachers. So when I think about, hey, how are we doing with these in kids, I just think to those moments that I've seen and heard kids being affirmed for their progress.
First thing in the morning, we practice empathy, and we hit it every day. We hold morning meetings and we talk about how we're feeling and what we're carrying into classroom that day, because we're not all ready to learn every single day. So we kind of unpack when we get in, and it makes us more ready to continue throughout the day. So empathy we hit all the time. Respect, integrity. I mean, a lot of these things we're doing and we don't even know we're doing it.
You look at my kiddos, their level of success may look totally different than a regular ed student, and that's okay. But I teach them to do it the honest way, to do it with integrity, to do it with, if you wouldn't want someone to know that you just did that, then don't do it. And I think that we serve our regular ed kiddos in the same manner in this building. Everybody makes mistakes, and we're good at forgiving and moving on. That's great. But if we can get them to understand how their integrity it plays a role in their future, I think, to me, that's the one that sticks out the most to me.
It's hard to narrow it down to one, but if I did one, it would be teachable. Because teachable implies a vulnerability and a humility that you need and want to learn more. It's really saying, I'm a lifelong learner and I am open and willing to learn more. And isn't that what we want for our students after they graduate, in their marriages, in their relationships, moving forward in the workplace? We want all of our students to be teachable.
I think they'll believe in themselves. I think they'll believe in themselves and each other, and I think they'll become more confident. And you know, perseverance is one of the DNA markers, traits, yeah. And I think that'll tell a lot about a kid if they can persevere through a problem.
These are attributes that aren't going anywhere. They're timeless. They've always been important to living and working and being successful. They continue to be important. And for that, we're charged with the responsibility of instilling these in our students.
You know, we used to say these are softer skills, but I think that they're hard because it's hard to master. It's hard to be perfect because we may not practice these 100% every day. But that's what I'd probably leave you with, is that these aren't easy, and the kids aren't going to be perfect every day. They're not going to be responsible 100% of the time. They're not going to practice proper communication all the time. They're going to make mistakes, but that's what allows us to grow.